Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back for another video, and today we're back for the final episode, final video, final part, whatever you want to call it. The final Battlefront Misty Dungeon domain, the Elemental Trial. We're here to do the Elemental Trial, cover it, go over the pathing, the character composition, and then an overall rating of difficulty at the end of the video. But without further ado, let's get into the Elemental Trial. Okay, so here we are. Elemental Trial. The name doesn't really imply too much here. So we can just see at the top here, elemental reactions are incredibly powerful here, so trigger them as much as possible. And a quick thing to note on the enemies, it's all Fatui with a Ruin Guard at the end, I suppose. But unlike the previous areas where it was mainly Treasure Hoarders, Healy Churls, and the Abyss Mages, here we're actually fighting just the Fatui, which is, you know, pretty easy, pretty hard, depending on what you like. It's a good thing to note there's no Electro Fatui Hammer Boys, so you don't need a Cryo character, but there is the Hydro Gunner. A Cryo character would be good. Having a Claymore user for the Geochanter would be good. A Hydro character for the Pyro Slinger, and a Pyro character for the Cryo Gunner would be useful as a side note, but we'll get that to that in the composition. Challenges here. Use elemental reactions in elemental trial to disable traps 4 times. You know, pretty straightforward, just disable 4 traps. Elemental trigger at least 5 elemental reactions involving swirl or crystallization, not too difficult, and then complete the trial with 6 or more minutes remaining, not too difficult as well. But with all of that being said and done, pause the video if you want to have a look at the challenges or the enemies a bit longer. But now we're just going to get into the composition here. In terms of composition, team composition, we're going to be running Mona, maybe not the main character. We'll run Kaching as main, Mona, Sucrose, why not, maybe get that swirl reaction going, and Jinyan, right? I don't think we'll need a healer. We might need a healer actually. Let's get rid of Sucrose. We'll chuck on Barbara. We'll chuck on big old Barbara. And we should actually take a notice of the Leyline disorders here. All party members receive elemental mastery increased by 300, and when a character triggers an elemental reaction on a nearby opponent, it will trigger a shockwave attack to nearby people. So overall, pretty good. I don't think there's anything else here I'd rather change. No, not really. So that's the team composition: Kaching, Mona, Jinyan, and Barbara, but you could probably use whatever you want really if you're comfortable with other things. Without further ado, let's actually get into the trial. Okay, so here we are. We're in the trial now, and it's going to go as usual. We're just going to run through here, just talk about the pathing, talk about the enemies we're fighting. Okay, these weren't in the job description, but that's fine. I guess it's because they're part of the different mechanism that they weren't told about, but that's honestly doesn't really mean much. Just got to continue on as normal. Use the same pathing as we have before. Wait for cooldowns. Okay, this is a bit weird now, having a branch in the way. Okay, we got some stuff here.
Decided by destiny. Nowhere to hide. Get power cord. Let me
I hate Mona's dodge. I'm gonna be real with you, I kind of do not like it.
Shadows of fate. Don't blink. Cut to the chase.
Well, but yeah, we're continuing as normal. If you want to copy the route or the pathing that I'm using, feel free to do so. Same with the team composition. It's nothing too special, just stuff that I'm comfortable with. And I encourage you to do the same. Just take characters that you're comfortable with using. Characters that you know how to play. That's probably the best course of action, in my opinion. But do whatever you want.
Ready, steady, go. Fate is upon you. Power cord.
we're just gonna continue on. Honestly, the Fatui enemies, just because there isn't an actual Electro Hammer Boy, I feel like it's gonna be a lot easier than it usually would.
Let me scry.
Because that is pretty much the only kind of difficult enemy of the Fatui is the Hammer Boys. Just because you need a cryo character. Everything else is kind of manageable. But we just gotta continue pushing on like this, you know?
Decided by destiny. Income.
That's that room done. We got an extra bit of time here. We're gonna continue chugging along here. Get that damage buff. Then we'll get the final beam of light, which should be there. And then there's the speed buff over there. I'm just planning out the whole thing in my head. But if you're curious on the pathing, I've used the same pathing for all 5 or 6 trials, sorry. Identical pathing for all of them, so, you know, it doesn't really matter which way you go. You just have to make sure you know where you've been, so you know where to go next. That's probably the best tip I can give. Is knowing where you've been, so then you know where to go next, because you don't want to like loop around on yourself. Because right now, because I know this pathing, that right there is the entrance. I know I can't go any further that way, so I go here. There's the there's the actual red beam of light, and then the last mechanism is over that way.
Fate is upon you. Cut to the chase. Speed of light.
There we go. That's the last main mechanism done, but we got to grab the speed boost just because it'll be a bit handy just to have a bit of a speed boost. Oh, who doesn't like a good 20% movement speed buff? But we're just, honestly, this is very casual. This event is very casual in my opinion.
Decided by destiny.
A very funny way to use Mona, but yeah. There we go. That's literally all the mechanisms done. A minimum of 2 challenges complete out of the quests, or minimum 2 quests complete, that is. And we're just going to continue on to the final trial here. I think it's just Ruin Guard, or just 1 Ruin Guard, or 2. It seems to be 2 Ruin Guards, so pretty easy.
Fate is upon you. Amp it up. Pyrotechnics. Nowhere to hide.
Should be over in like a few minutes. Maybe a minute here. Try to use Mona here as effectively as possible, but I'm not too familiar with the character.
With sword comes shadow. Allah protect us. Income. Got lucky that time. Written in the stars.
I do this, and then I tried to do some cool overlapping thing and use Mona properly. I don't know if it worked, but yeah. I have no clue if it worked, but it felt good. And honestly, that's there you go. This is pretty much the elemental trial. Very easy, very easy. It's not the easiest, but very easy nonetheless. Overall, I'd give it, you know, it's like 3rd or 4th in terms of easiness. You know, I think probably the plunging one will take precedence over this one. But you know, I think this just goes to show that this whole event is very easy, but still fun, in my opinion. You can go with different team compositions, different character compositions to do in certain trials. You know, if you don't want to run any shield characters for the shield trial, you don't run any shield. If you don't want to, you can't really avoid elemental reactions, but you know, it is what it is. Just a quick showcase of the quests that I got done, doing that pretty casually again. 4 out of 5 is very good, you know. 4 out of 5 quests done without really trying to complete them goes to show that, you know, just a bit of effort into completing the challenges can get you all the challenges in one go. But that's going to be the elemental trial, the final trial of the Misty dungeon event. This will be the last video on this whole event because it's the final trial, you know, nothing more else. Hope all the videos were helpful. Hope they all showed the pathing that I use, which is identical throughout all the videos because it's just a simple pathing of going around in a loop and then cutting through the center. Hopefully it was all useful. Hopefully people, you know, got some ideas, learned some stuff. If you didn't and you have your own ideas, be sure to comment down some ideas that you had, some cool tips and tricks that you have that you used. If the video was helpful as well, consider leaving a like and consider subscribing. Helps out the channel a lot. And if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Muchly appreciated to everyone. Much love to everyone. I'll catch you all in the next one, and peace out.